7,000 years had passed since the alien invasion that destroyed Earth. The blue planet, once vibrant with life, was now a distant memory. Humans had survived and thrived on a new world, Nova Terra. Here, they built homes, raised families, and told stories of the past. But the pain of losing their home lingered in their hearts. Commander Zara stood on a rocky hill, gazing at the stars. She remembered the tales her grandmother told her about Earth. She heard stories of lush forests, clear rivers, and cities full of laughter. But those stories always ended in sorrow, with the burning of the skies and the screams of the dying. Zara felt a deep sadness, but also a spark of anger. She was determined to fight back against the aliens who had taken everything from them. One day, while exploring the ancient ruins of an old alien base, Zara and her team made an incredible discovery. They found a hidden room filled with strange machines and glowing artifacts. As they examined the room, Tarek, the group's engineer, noticed a large, shimmering object in the center. It pulsed with energy, casting a blue light across the room. "What do you think it is?" Tarek asked, his eyes wide with curiosity. Zara stepped closer, her heart racing. "I don't know, but it feels powerful. We need to find out." With great care, they activated the device. The room filled with a bright light, and a holographic map appeared in front of them. It showed the locations of alien ships and bases scattered across the galaxy. But more importantly, it revealed the aliens' weaknesses. "This could change everything," Leah, the fierce warrior of the team, exclaimed. "If we can strike at their weak points, we might stand a chance." Zara felt a surge of hope. They finally had a way to fight back. "We need to share this with everyone," she said, her voice steady. "It's time to unite the people of Nova Terra and prepare for war." Back at their camp, Zara called a meeting with the leaders of different human factions. Some were farmers, some were fighters, and others were scientists. They gathered in a large tent, their faces filled with uncertainty and fear. Zara stood in front of them, ready to share their discovery. "Friends," she began, "we have found something powerful. This artifact shows us the aliens' weak spots. For too long, we have lived in their shadow, hiding in fear. Now, we have a chance to reclaim our home and our future." Murmurs spread through the crowd. Some looked excited, while others were doubtful. A tall man named Marcus, leader of the Warriors of Nova, stood up. "What if this is a trap? We've suffered enough already. Why risk everything?" Zara felt a wave of frustration but remained calm. "I understand your fear, Marcus. But if we do nothing, we will always be slaves to the memories of our past. We owe it to our ancestors and to ourselves to fight for our future." The crowd fell silent, contemplating her words. Finally, Dr. Eldrin, a wise scientist, spoke up. "If we work together, we can develop a strategy. We can combine our skills and resources to launch a surprise attack. But we need to act quickly before the aliens realize we're on to them." Zara nodded, feeling a sense of unity in the room. "We will form teams, engineers to develop weapons, fighters to train for battle, and scouts to gather more information. Together we can make this work!" As the meeting continued, Zara saw the spark of hope in the eyes of her people. They began to share ideas, plans, and dreams of a future where they could live free. The weight of the past was still heavy, but it was finally mixed with the promise of revenge. That night, as Zara lay in her tent, she felt a sense of purpose. The stars shone brightly above, and she knew they were not alone. They had each other, and they had a plan. Tomorrow, they would take their first steps toward reclaiming their lost home. The fight for Earth was about to begin, and Zara was ready to lead her people into battle. The sun rose over Nova Terra, casting golden light on the camp where Commander Zara and her team were preparing for the fight ahead. Excitement filled the air as the news about the alien artifact spread. Humans from all over the planet began to gather, eager to join the cause. They had spent too long hiding and were ready to stand up for their future. Zara stood at the center of the camp, looking at the growing crowd. There were farmers, soldiers, scientists, and families. Each person had a unique skill that could help them fight back against the aliens. Zara knew she needed to unite these people and channel their energy into a strong force. "Everyone, listen up!" Zara called out, raising her voice so everyone could hear. "We are on the brink of a great battle. Each one of you has a role to play. Together we can reclaim our home." The crowd erupted in cheers, their voices mixing with a sense of hope. Zara smiled, feeling the power of their unity. She quickly organized a plan to form different teams based on skills and strengths. First, she approached Tarek, who was busy working on a makeshift weapon. Tarek, I need you to lead the engineering team. You will create weapons and defenses for our fighters, she said, her tone firm. Tarek nodded, excitement lighting up his face. I won't let you down, Zara. We'll make sure our weapons are ready for the battle. Next, Zara turned to Leah, who was training a group of fighters in the courtyard. Leah, you are in charge of training our soldiers. We need everyone to be strong and ready for combat, Zara instructed. Leah cracked her knuckles, a fierce grin on her face. I'll whip them into shape! No one will stand in our way! As Zara moved through the camp, she saw people gathering, sharing stories of their past and their dreams for the future. She felt a swell of pride. Each person had suffered loss, but now they stood together, united in purpose. Later that day, Zara called a meeting for all the team leaders. They gathered around a large table made of old metal scraps. Tarek and Leah were there, along with Dr. Eldrin and Marcus, the warrior leader. The atmosphere buzzed with energy as they discussed their strategy. Tarek, how soon can we have weapons ready? Zara asked, looking at him intently. We can start building basic energy rifles and shields within a week. It will take time to make more advanced weapons, but we can make enough for our first attack, Tarek replied, determination shining in his eyes. Perfect. And Leah, how many fighters can we train? Zara continued. Leah thought for a moment. I can train at least 50 in a week, but we need to push them hard. They need to be prepared for anything. As they planned, Zara realized they needed more than just weapons and fighters. They needed information about the alien bases and their movements. We should send scouts to gather intelligence. Dr. Eldrin, can you organize a scouting team? Zara asked. Yes, I can gather volunteers. We need to know the enemy's strengths and weaknesses before we make our move, Dr. Eldrin replied, adjusting his glasses. The more we know, the better our chances. Zara nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. She understood that each decision could mean life or death for her people. They had to be smart and work together. As the days passed, the camp transformed. The sound of hammers echoed as the engineering team built weapons. Laughter filled the air as the fighters trained hard, pushing each other to be their best. The spirit of unity was stronger than ever. One evening, Zara gathered everyone around a fire. The flames danced in the night as people shared stories of their past and dreams for the future. Zara stood up, feeling the warmth of hope in her heart. We have lost so much, but we will not lose again. We will fight for our future, for our children, and for Earth, she shouted, her voice ringing with conviction. The crowd cheered, their spirits lifted. Zara knew they were ready. The time had come to prepare for war. With her people by her side, she felt confident that they could face the aliens and take back what was theirs. In the days to come, they would forge weapons, train for battle, and gather intelligence. Together, they would rise as one against the darkness that had taken their home. The fight for Earth was about to begin, and Commander Zara was ready to lead her forces into the unknown. The night was quiet on Nova Terra, but tension filled the air as Commander Zara and her team prepared for their daring mission. They had trained hard, built weapons, and gathered intelligence. Now it was time to infiltrate the alien base on the planet Xylar and gather more information about their enemy. Zara stood at the front of the assembled team. The moonlight glinted off their newly made energy rifles, and her heart raced with anticipation. Tonight we will strike a blow against the aliens. Our goal is to get inside the Xylar base, collect vital information, and return safely, she said, her voice steady. We must move quickly and quietly. Tarek, the engineer, had devised a plan for their approach. We will use the cover of night to sneak past the guards. Once we reach the base, I'll disable their security systems. From there, we can access their mainframe for data, he explained, confidence in his tone. Leah, the fierce warrior, checked her weapons. Let's show those aliens what we're made of. We'll get in and out without being seen, she said, her eyes shining with determination. With their plan in place, they boarded their small stealth ship. The engines hummed softly and the ship lifted off, gliding through the stars. As they flew toward Xylar, Zara felt a mix of excitement and fear. This was their first real mission against the aliens, and she knew the stakes were high. Upon arriving, they hovered above the alien base, a massive structure made of dark metal. Bright lights shone around it, casting long shadows on the ground below. Zara pointed to a gap in the security fence. That's our way in. Stay low and move quickly, she instructed. They landed the ship a short distance away and exited quietly. The team crept toward the base, their hearts pounding in their chests. Zara led the way, her senses heightened. As they approached the fence, Tarek pulled out a small device he had made. "This will disable the fence," he whispered. He pressed a button, and the fence hummed before going silent. The team slipped through the opening and entered the base. Inside, they were greeted by a maze of dark corridors and flickering lights. Zara signaled for everyone to stay close. Tarek quickly scanned the area. "The control room should be down this corridor. We need to move fast before they notice we're here," he said. As they moved deeper into the base, they encountered several alien guards patrolling the halls. The team crouched behind crates and machinery, holding their breath. Zara watched as the guards passed, her heart racing. "Stay quiet. We can't afford to get caught," she reminded them. Finally, they reached the control room, a large area filled with screens and alien technology. Tarek quickly set to work connecting his device to the mainframe. "I need a few minutes to download the data," he said, his fingers flying over the controls. Outside, the tension rose as Zara and the others stood guard. Leah peered through the door, keeping watch. "We're running out of time. If they find us, we'll be in serious trouble," she warned. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the base. Red lights flashed, illuminating the darkness. "We've been spotted!" Zara shouted. "Tarek, hurry! I'm almost done! Just a few more seconds," Tarek replied, focused on the screen. With urgency, Zara turned to her team. "We need to hold them off while Tarek finishes." "Leah, get ready to fight!" The doors burst open and several alien guards rushed in. Zara and Leah raised their rifles, firing at the intruders. The energy blasts lit up the room as they fought to protect their engineer. Just as Tarek pulled the final data from the mainframe, a loud crash echoed behind them. The door had been blown open by more guards, and they rushed into the control room. "We have to go now!" Tarek yelled, grabbing the data chip. Zara felt a surge of adrenaline as she shouted, "Fall back! We need to get out of here." The team fought their way through the guards, using their training to stay alive. They sprinted down the corridors, dodging blasts and fighting off attackers. Zara's heart raced as they approached the exit. They could hear the alien shouts behind them, and the sound of footsteps grew louder. Finally, they reached their ship. "Get in! Hurry!" Zara urged as they jumped aboard. Tarek quickly plugged in the data chip, and the ship's engines roared to life. As they lifted off the ground, Zara looked back at the alien base. They had escaped, but she knew this was just the beginning. They had important information now, and they would use it to fight back against the aliens who had destroyed their home. With determination in her heart, Zara set a course for Novaterra. The mission was a success, but the war had only just begun. Back on Novaterra, the atmosphere buzzed with energy. Commander Zara stood in the makeshift command center, surrounded by her team. They had returned from their dangerous mission with crucial information about the alien forces, and now it was time to plan their counterattack. The walls were covered with maps and schematics from the alien base, and a screen displayed the data Tarek had stolen. Zara looked at her team, her heart filled with determination. "We know where the aliens are strongest. They think we're weak, but we will show them that humans fight back," she declared. "Our first target will be the supply depot on Xylar. If we can take out their supplies, we can weaken their entire operation." Tarek nodded, pointing at the map. "This depot is heavily guarded, but we have the element of surprise. We can launch a night attack when they least expect it," he suggested. Leah, always ready for a fight, grinned. "Let's hit them hard and fast!" "They won't know what hit them." Zara turned to the group, feeling the adrenaline build. "We need to divide our forces. Some will distract the guards while others move in to take control of the depot. We can't afford to lose this opportunity." As the team strategized, volunteers stepped forward to join the mission. Farmers, builders, and former soldiers all wanted to fight. Zara felt proud of their courage. These were ordinary people who had decided to take a stand. She organized them into two teams, one for the distraction and the other for the main attack. As night fell, they prepared their gear and weapons. Zara's heart raced as she looked at the faces of her team. They were ready, united by a common purpose. "Remember, we are fighting for our future. Every step we take brings us closer to reclaiming our home," she reminded them. They boarded their stealth ships and set off toward Xylar, the stars twinkling above them. Zara could feel the tension in the air. This was the moment they had been waiting for, the chance to strike back against the aliens who had taken so much from them. Upon arriving at the supply depot, Zara's team observed the alien guards patrolling the area. The depot was surrounded by high walls and bright lights. Zara signaled for everyone to stay low and quiet. "We'll wait for the right moment," she whispered. Minutes felt like hours as they watched the guards. Finally, Leah raised her hand. "Now!" she shouted, leading her distraction team toward the front of the depot. They ran forward, creating noise and drawing the attention of the guards. Zara took a deep breath. "Now's our chance!" she shouted to her team. They slipped through a side entrance while the guards were focused on the distraction. Inside, the depot was filled with crates and supplies, everything the aliens needed to maintain their control. "Let's move quickly," Tarek urged. "We need to locate their supply caches and plant explosives." The team spread out, searching for the vital supplies. Zara found a room filled with crates of energy weapons. "This is what we need!" she exclaimed. "We can turn their weapons against them." Meanwhile, Tarek and another team member planted explosives throughout the depot. "We should set them for a 5-minute countdown. That will give us enough time to get out," he said, working quickly. Just then, an alarm blared throughout the depot. "They know we're here!" Zara shouted. "We have to move now!" The team hurriedly gathered their supplies and ran toward the exit. As they dashed through the corridors, Zara felt a rush of adrenaline. They were so close to succeeding. The sounds of chaos echoed behind them as the guards scrambled to respond to the attack. As they reached the exit, a group of alien guards appeared in front of them, blocking their path. Zara's heart sank. "We can't let them stop us!" she shouted. Leah took charge, her rifle raised. "I'll hold them off! Get to the ship!" she yelled, firing at the guards. Zara and the others pushed past, their hearts racing as they dashed outside. They reached their ships just as the first explosions shook the ground. Crates flew into the air and flames erupted from the depot. The alien forces were in disarray and Zara felt a surge of triumph. "Go! Go!" Zara shouted as they boarded their ship. The engines roared to life and they lifted off, watching the depot explode in a brilliant fireball behind them. It was a victory, but they knew the war was far from over. As they flew back to Nova Terra, Zara's heart swelled with pride. They had struck a blow against the aliens, and it was just the beginning. They were no longer just survivors. They were fighters, ready to reclaim their world and stand up for humanity. "Together we will win this war," Zara vowed, looking at her team with renewed determination. The fight for Earth had just begun, and they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The sun rose slowly over Nova Terra, casting a warm glow across the planet. It was a new day, and for the first time in years, the people felt a sense of hope. The recent victory against the alien forces had sparked a flame of determination in their hearts. Commander Zara stood on a makeshift stage in the center of their settlement, ready to address the crowd that had gathered. As she looked out over the faces of her people, she felt a mixture of pride and responsibility. The scars of the past were still fresh, but they were healing, and today marked a turning point in their fight for survival. "Thank you all for being here," Zara began, her voice steady. "Together we achieved something incredible. We struck a blow against the aliens who tried to take everything from us. But this is just the beginning." The crowd cheered, and Zara could see the fire in their eyes. They were no longer just victims. They were warriors, united in their purpose. "We must prepare for the battles ahead. The aliens will not give up easily, and we must be ready to defend our home," she continued, her voice rising above the noise. Tarek stepped forward, holding up a device he had created from the alien technology they had captured. "We have been studying the data we collected. The aliens have more bases on different planets, and they are planning to regroup. We need to be smarter and stronger than ever before," he explained, his eyes bright with excitement. Leah, standing beside him, nodded in agreement. "We have weapons now, and we know how they operate. It's time to take the fight to them," she added, her fists clenched in determination. Zara smiled at her friends. "Exactly. We will launch a series of strikes on their remaining bases. Our goal is to weaken their forces and gather more resources. We need to take back what is rightfully ours." The crowd erupted in applause, their spirits lifted by the promise of action. Zara felt a rush of energy. Her team had become more than just comrades. They had become family. Together, they would reclaim their future. Days passed as the team prepared for their next mission. They trained hard, honing their skills and learning to work as a unit. Zara felt a renewed sense of purpose. They were no longer simply responding to threats, They were going on the offensive. One night, as they gathered around a campfire, Zara reflected on their journey. "When the aliens destroyed Earth, I thought we would never recover," she said, gazing into the flames. "But look at us now. We have fought back, and we are stronger than ever." Tarek nodded, tossing a small stick into the fire. "We've learned so much. We know how to use their technology against them. This time we won't be caught off guard." As the team shared stories and laughter under the stars, Zara felt a sense of peace wash over her. They had been through so much, but now they were moving forward together, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Finally, the day of the next mission arrived. They gathered early in the morning, fueled by determination and excitement. Zara laid out the plan for their assault on another alien base, one that had been identified as a supply center. "Today we will hit them hard and fast," Zara said, her voice filled with confidence. "We will show them that humans will not back down. We fight for our future, for our home." As they boarded their ships and set off toward the alien base, Zara felt a surge of adrenaline. The sky was clear and the sun shone brightly, symbolizing a new dawn for humanity. They flew together, a united force determined to take back what had been lost. Upon arrival, the team spread out, executing their plan flawlessly. Tarek and Leah led the charge while Zara coordinated the operation from a distance. The aliens were caught off guard, their defenses crumbling as the humans fought with fierce determination. The battle was intense, but Zara felt a sense of clarity. They were fighting for something greater than themselves. They were fighting for all of humanity. Each explosion, each shot fired was a testament to their resilience. As they secured the base, Zara looked around at her team, who were working together like a well-oiled machine. They had transformed from survivors into warriors, and it filled her with pride. With their mission a success, Zara raised her weapon in triumph. "We did it!" she shouted, her voice echoing across the battlefield. The team cheered, their spirits soaring. As they prepared to leave, Zara looked up at the sky. The sun shone brightly, a symbol of hope and new beginnings. "This is just the start," she thought, her heart filled with determination. They would continue to fight, reclaim their home, and ensure that the dawn of a new era for humanity would never fade. Together they would rise again and again, stronger with each victory, forging a path toward a brighter future. The war was not over, but with each battle they drew closer to their ultimate goal, freedom for their people and a new dawn for Earth.